First thing I want to talk about this week is going to be the World Baseball Classic that is coming up here in just a few days. Today is March 2nd, so that means in 5 days' time, the World Baseball Classic will kick off all around the world. And for those of you who do not know what the World Baseball Classic is, please, I beg you, if you have any interest in baseball whatsoever, watch the World Baseball Classic, or at least watch a game or two as it goes along. Because, I'll tell you from experience, having played baseball all around this great country of ours, having gone to many, many middle schools, high schools, junior colleges, regular colleges, whatever, 4-year universities, 2-year universities, all around this place, having played in JetBlue Park in Fort Myers, Florida, which is basically Florida Fenway, having played in the Minnesota Twins Stadium. There's, many, many places. Having played in the old Los Angeles Dodgers stomping grounds, or spring training stomping grounds anyways, in Florida. Having been all around this great country playing baseball, and having seen all different kinds of baseball from all different walks of life, there has not ever been a kind of baseball like the World Baseball Classic. I'm so happy that they started doing it, because for those of you who do not know what the World Baseball Classic is, have no idea what I'm talking about, it is essentially the Olympics of baseball. Now, I personally think that it is better than the Olympics, and I know that's probably very controversial for some people, but the World Baseball Classic is just special. There's something about the World Baseball Classic that just makes it stand out. And what it is energy and pride of country. Now, oftentimes people say, oh, we're just playing for pride as an insult. And you know what? So have I. I've heard it. I've seen it. And sometimes it can be taken in the wrong context. But in this context, playing for pride and playing for the flag that you represent, no matter what that flag is, it is the most beautiful and pure form of baseball. The energy that the players have as compared to when they're playing just normally for their jobs is palpable. It's different. You can tell. And you can also tell by the fans that are in attendance. They are much more rowdy than a normal baseball game would be. And so that energy is carried from the second the game starts, probably even before the game starts, all the way until well after the game ends. For every second, whether there hasn't been a run scored in 5 innings, or whether there's been 15 scored in those same 5 innings, it doesn't matter. The energy is the same. And it is so wonderful to see so many amazing players from all around the world represent their country in the way that they know how, and get an opportunity on a national stage, no matter where you are from, to represent and to show the world what you can do. Now, the World Baseball Classic is also amazing because you get to see the best baseball players from all around the world, not just the MLB, although there are plenty of MLB players for sure, but you get to see players from countries that you've never even heard of. You get to see players that, while maybe they are the second or third best pitcher on their own team in the MLB, they may be the ace of the Netherlands pitching staff, and they have one of the best World Baseball Classic performances of the entire, whatever you would call this, series, or I guess classic, right? That'd probably be the best way to put it. But, and you get to see stars being made. I'll tell you, I had no idea who the heck Seth Lugo was until the last World Baseball Classic. And then for a couple of years, he was one of the best relievers in baseball for the Mets. There's so many times where you'll watch somebody and you'll think, who the heck is this? I've never heard of this person. And they show out during the World Baseball Classic, and it's great to see. Now, in terms of what I think might or might not happen, this is one of those tournaments, let's call it a tournament, that I don't really care who wins. Now, obviously, I want the United States to win, if I had to choose, because, from here, land of the free, home of the brave, and all that. But I just love watching great sports. That is just something that I truly believe in for all sports, all levels. And I am just a fan of watching amazing baseball. So when the United States won in 2017, I believe the last one was, it was great. It was an icing on the cake for a beautiful World Baseball Classic, for a beautiful few weeks of baseball that I got to witness. But I didn't care if they had won in the end. It wouldn't have mattered that much to me. The fact is, I got to see the best baseball I've ever seen played at a passion and at a level and at a pace that I have not seen before. Especially when you're watching all these MLB players, you're thinking, man, where is this passion when they're playing for the Cubs or the Cardinals or the Red Sox or the Yankees or whoever? So it's a beautiful thing to see. And so, again, I urge all of you out there watching on YouTube, if you have not seen the World Baseball Classic, tune in this year because it only comes around once every few years. So watch it. Even if it's just for a couple of innings, just see what I mean. Just kind of get the vibe of it. Just get the feeling that everybody who watches already has. So, what do I think is going to happen? Well, as far as I'm concerned, even though there are many great teams and many, many great players during this World Baseball Classic, I think it is going to come down to a combination of 6 teams. Some combination of these 6 teams. The United States, Japan, Venezuela, Mexico, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Now, Canada might be thrown in there as well because they have some great talent as well. But as far as I'm concerned, again, unless I'm forgetting somebody, I might be. I think it's going to come down to some combination of those 6 teams, barring some incredible Cinderella story that I cannot foresee right now. And the reason is because on those 6 teams, the majority of the MLB talent is going to be on and representing those countries. So for me, honestly, I think that it is going to be an absolute barn burner, especially early on, because unless I'm mistaken, which I very well could be, the World Baseball Classic has pools, much like the Olympics does, and much like the World Cup also has. And unless I'm mistaken, in one of the pools, I think it is Mexico, Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico all in the same pool, and that's 4 of the 6 teams that I just mentioned. So, honestly, that's going to be an absolutely insane pool to come out of, especially because that means that some of those teams that I mentioned probably will not end up doing well. So, I just think, incredibly, that it is going to come down to some combination of one or more of those 4 countries that I just mentioned, and then obviously the United States and Japan. So, who do I think is going to win the World Baseball Classic? Like I said, I don't really necessarily care, but I guess I will go for the United States. I think it just makes sense on paper. They have one of the best, if not the best teams in this entire tournament just on paper. Now, obviously, there are a great many teams that also have fantastic teams on paper, such as the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Japan, just to name a couple. But I am going to go with the United States just because, you know what? I love the United States, and I hope that they win. Now, I don't remember off the top of my head if they name a World Baseball Classic MVP or something like that. They should if they don't, but let's just say for the sake they do. I think the pick is pretty obvious, and I think if Japan goes anywhere in this tournament, it's going to be Shohei Ohtani, right? It's got to be Shohei Ohtani. Of course it's going to be Shohei Ohtani. He's going to pitch, he's going to bat, he's going to do all sorts of amazing things for Japan. It's almost unfair, really. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody else in this entire tournament that's going to pitch at an unbelievably high level and hit at an unbelievably high level like Shohei Ohtani probably will in the World Baseball Classic. Now, earlier today, I believe, possibly yesterday, there was a story that came out saying that the Angels are not going to restrict Shohei Ohtani in any way in the World Baseball Classic, which I think is very, very nice of them. It's the least that they can do for destroying his and Mike Trout's career for the rest of it until they smarten up and they decide to leave LA. But I think that it's pretty unfair if Shohei Ohtani is going to be able to pitch at an elite level and hit at an elite level if there is some kind of MVP award for a very short tournament. If he turns in even just a fairly good performance, I feel like that's going to be an unfair advantage, barring some kind of absolutely immaculate game from another pitcher, or just a crazy tear by some batter where they're hitting a home run every other at bat and just something crazy like that. So I think that if they do give out awards for MVP for the World Baseball Classic, then I think Shohei Ohtani might just bring that sucker home, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey guys, me again. Thank you so much for watching one of my clips from the Lopes Goes Last podcast. These clips are so much fun to do. I absolutely love making them, and I absolutely love doing them. And this podcast is my baby. So I really want this thing to grow, and I really want it to succeed. So if you did like what you see, please subscribe. Also hit that bell notification so you never miss any one of my episodes or one of my clips like this one. And please do also like and share these videos with your friends and your family so that we can make this thing grow as fast as possible. And I wanted to thank you again so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day.